Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Motorwalks PH. Now today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys top 10 tips for riding a motorcycle on the expressways. Stay tuned for that. Tip number 1. Ensure that your motorcycle is roadworthy to pass through the expressway. Make sure that your motorcycle is at least, of course, 400cc and above, as you can see there. Motorcycles below 400cc are not allowed on the expressway. So, don't even try it. It's not worth the hassle of getting caught and getting apprehended and getting fined and all that. Of course, your engine should be in tip-top shape. You don't want to break down while on the expressway, because the towing service would be quite expensive. I mean, they are very helpful to motorists who get stranded along the North Luzon Expressway especially. But of course, you're going to have to pay for the towing service if you get towed. Tip number 2. Make sure that you as a rider is in tip-top shape as well. Of course, not just a motorcycle. You have to make sure that you are also physically fit to drive a motorcycle. If you're drunk, if you're under the influence, if you haven't slept yet or upset, you may want to forego passing through NLEX. Mainly because vehicles passing through NLEX are traveling at high speeds. So any mistakes or error on the driver's part might be fatal. Might cause him to get into an accident. Tip number 3. Prepare the exact toll. Or if you don't know how much it would cost, at least prepare some cash and keep it somewhere you can easily access the cash, so that you won't have to fiddle around with the change and with your cash to pay for the toll fee. If you're planning to pass through NLEX a lot, so again, I would recommend getting an easy trip. That is one of those stickers, RFIDs. With that, you can actually pass through without fiddling around with the cash, and give the vehicle in front of you some space to maneuver. See, that vehicle doesn't have an easy pass or an easy trip, so he has to pay for the toll. But since my motorcycle has one, I just have to actually stop right in front of the sensor, and voila! This one pro tip: for convenience, you can get an easy trip sticker or RFID by going to one of the offices of the North Luzon Expressway Tollways Management. I got mine near San Fernando. You can also easily reload this by going to their office, or you can do it online via BPI. You can load at 7-Eleven branches. Now when you're passing through the toll gate, as a motorcycle, I know it's going to be hot, especially on a summer day. But if there's a lot of vehicles in line that's passing through the toll gate, you also have to fall in line. You cannot cut in line. Now, if it's really hot, you can maybe ask for permission from one of the vehicles if they would let you cut in. Okay, a simple hand gesture. You can do this. Please, can I pass? And most of the time, drivers are actually quite friendly and forgiving to motorcycle riders, mainly because most of the drivers would understand that it's actually very hot. Make sure that you gas up before you enter the expressways. Why? Gas is actually more expensive inside the expressway. If you will gas up in one of the gas stations along the expressway, like Petron or Shell, they are understandably more expensive compared to the gas stations outside of the expressways. Once you're inside NLEX, make sure that you don't change lanes abruptly. Try to stick to one lane. Try to stick to your lane, and only change lanes if you need to overtake another vehicle that's traveling at a much lower speed than you would like to travel. Okay? If you need to change your lanes, make sure that you use your signal lights properly at least 10 seconds before you change lanes. Now, if you're used to riding a motorcycle along EDSA or any other roads, national roads, maybe you've gotten used to changing lanes without really signaling. But on the expressways, that can cost you your life. Okay? Since all of the vehicles, or majority of the vehicles supplying the expressways are driving fast, there's a big risk if you would be changing lanes without properly using your signal lights. Don't just swerve, because that's dangerous. You can perform evasive maneuvers if you have to, but I wouldn't recommend doing that every single time if it's not really a necessity. You can probably do an evasive maneuver if the vehicle in front of you suddenly slams on the brakes, or if there's a road hazard. You can swerve, of course, to get out of the immediate danger zone. But if you're just riding like this, don't just change lanes without checking your side mirror at least. Next tip: observe the proper speed limit. Okay? Now, along the Northern expressways, the speed limit is usually 100 kilometers per hour. And I know most motorcycle riders, especially if you have a powerful motorcycle, 120, even 140 can be boring. And I know most motorcycle riders would even go up to 190 to 100 kilometers per hour. And again, that's a risk that if you're willing to take, then you must be ready for the consequences. Of course, you can either get a ticket, or worse, get into an accident. So those are the consequences that you need to be ready for if you were planning to overspeed. So again, speed limit is 100 kilometers per hour. I would recommend that you stick to that. I sometimes don't, of course. I'm not an angel, but I would recommend observe the speed limit, 100 kilometers per hour, unless you're on viaduct, because the speed limit on the viaduct is actually 80 kilometers per hour, it's much lower, so be careful. Now, the exit speed, when you're exiting NLEX through any of the exit ramps, just like what we are about to approach here, which is the Tabang exit, the exit speed would be, there you go, did you see that? 40 kilometers per hour, so you have to slow down. Okay, that's the exit speed. Now, can you travel way below the speed limit? The answer is no. There is also a minimum speed limit, which is 60 60 kilometers per hour, which means you cannot go above 100 kilometers per hour, but you cannot travel below 60 kilometers per hour. So make sure that you're traveling well within the speed limit. Next tip, the innermost lane or the leftmost lane is basically for overtaking only. So do not hog the leftmost or the innermost lane. Okay? See? It says right there, keep right except to overtake. So if you're not overtaking someone, stay on the third lane or the middle lane. Okay? You can stay on these two lanes, but only take the leftmost lane if you are overtaking. Now some vehicles actually stay on that lane, and I sometimes do that as well, which is, I know, not good, and it would annoy other drivers. And watch out, by the way, for speed traps, just like that one right there. The one that looks like a CPU computer, a computer CPU. If you go above the speed limit and you pass through one of those, it will snap a picture of your vehicle, and it's clear as daylight, even if it's at night, so they can see your plate number. Now if the vehicle in front of you is really slow and you really have to overtake them, try to do it here in the innermost lane. Okay, so again, signal, check your side mirror, make sure that there's no incoming vehicle, lower down your gear, and do it swiftly. You should be done with your overtake maneuver in less than 3 seconds. If your bike's not powerful enough to do that, then I suggest you don't overtake. Nice Raptor, dude. So you don't be like that, overtaking, changing lanes without proper signals. Well, now he's signaling. Earlier he didn't do that. He probably realized it. Oh yeah, well there you go. Because there's a mobile. That's why he suddenly became conscious about his signal lights. So if a faster vehicle is trying to overtake you, let them. Give them space. Don't try to speed up as well. If you see someone from behind you trying to overtake you, or trying to speed up to overtake you, let them. It's not a race, people. There's no prize money or trophy at the end. The real prize would be getting home safely to your family. Now careful with those strips as well along the expressway. Those metal strips on the road, those are dangerous, especially if it's raining. That's very slippery. So be careful when you pass through here. This is near Pulilan. There's also another one on the other side. Watch out for those metal strips on the road. There's a lot of motorcycles. So I hope that you guys have learned a lot from those tips that I shared. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and of course, don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you will get notified every time that I have a new video uploaded onto the channel. So again, thank you for watching. This is Motorwell's PH saying goodbye for now. Ride safe, brother.